Hello, everybody. How are you? We're going live here in Facebook, HOD Radio Network. We're going to be talking about our topic. We had simultaneously this event in LinkedIn and Facebook, but LinkedIn, maybe people doesn't know that this is the last week that they're going to be having audio rooms, and I was supposed to be doing it today. When I opened the link, it didn't open. It didn't open. I don't know if it's that they already canceled the other rooms. I don't know because LinkedIn has been doing so much technological changes that for my LinkedIn audio room, sorry, I couldn't open the room. I tried several times, and it's saying that it's waiting to 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 open it. So it's really not my fault. I'm gonna show you here what it's showing to me. It's saying that it's waiting that the the host begin the show. So sorry, this way. That's what it's saying. It's saying that it's waiting, so it cannot open. So that for my audio room listeners, I apologize that I couldn't open the room. So let's start here in Facebook. We're gonna be talking today a topic that really resonates to me a lot because it has to do with the end of years. When we're coming to the end of years, there are a lot of things that begin to pop up to our mind. How was the goals that we achieved during the year? What were our commitment to do things, our dreams? We had a vision of things that we wanted to do this year. What really we achieved, what we didn't achieve. So this is a season in the year that we begin to have sometimes people get with anxiety, sometimes they get depressed because you try to do things in life and maybe they don't happen. So it's really important to know that. Give me a second that somebody's writing me. Okay, somebody was trying to call me, but I'm here in Facebook Live. So let's continue. Let's continue. So we have these feelings that sometimes we get with anxiety, sometimes we get depressed, because it comes to the year end and we don't know if we really did things or not. There's still some weeks remaining. Remember that God always does miracles, and things that maybe didn't happen during the whole year can happen in these couple of weeks. It can happen. But if for some reason, you haven't achieved the goals, don't see it bad. See it like an opportunity that maybe you have to do things different. Maybe you had to reset your goals. Maybe you had to revisit things that how you approach them, and try to do it better next year. So that's what I call having setbacks and that becoming your comebacks, because that's what life is. Sometimes we have things that are happening in our life, but sometimes these things, when they are happening, you get there, stuck there, and you don't move on, and that's not the right way to think things in life. In life, you have to see the failures or the setback as opportunities to grow, opportunity to revisit your goals and revisit the way you have been looking things, and maybe that is the opportunity to next time be successful. Because if you go back to many cases in life, even in the Bible, you will see a lot of people that had a lot of setbacks. It pop-ups to me what was happening to, for example, to Job in the Bible. This guy lost everything. He lost everything. He lost his family, his wife, his kids. He lost his assets. He lost his money, his fortune. He lost everything. and he began to keep trying and going and going and going, but he never lose the faith in God. He was always knowing that God was going to at some point be with him, and at the end, God gave him the opportunity. Send a YouTube link. No, no. Sorry, I'm talking to him. So yeah, I tried to explain somebody that in LinkedIn that I had to cancel the event in LinkedIn because I'm not gonna be doing these two things in this time. So let's continue. Let's continue. And this is part of the setbacks. That is a great example of what is the setback, because I couldn't go in LinkedIn, but I decided to move on with Facebook because I'm gonna leave the recording so that people can hear the recording after. So that is what the setbacks are. That you have these things that happen in your life. There are roadblocks, things that come unexpectedly, and that is gonna test you. I always say that a true leader is tested when you're pushed from your comfort zone. When you're pushed from your comfort zone is where you're gonna be tested if you are a real leader or not. Because when everything is fine, everybody can be a leader. You know, normal course of business, you are a leader and you're leading very easily. But what about when you're having challenges in life? What about when you're having challenges in your business? So there is where you're gonna see if you are a true leader or not. Oh no, let me finish this. Having a lot of technology issues today. Okay, so let's try to deep dive in what is this about. Oh, somebody is asking me to go to live YouTube. Let me say, I will not open YouTube now. I am in Facebook Live now. Okay, so well, this is part of the life, the setbacks. This is a setback for me because I had almost 200 people in LinkedIn was gonna connect, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So unfortunately, this is part of the things that happen. So going back to what we were talking about, the setbacks, when you're having this situation in your life, think that there is an opportunity to grow. Don't look at bad. Look at like an opportunity to grow, and this is the way that you have to look things. So let's try to deep dive a little bit about this. And the people that know me, my name is Jose Pereira. Thank you for being here in HOD Radio Network. This is a wonderful platform that people connect, and we try to give the most of our knowledge related to leadership and resilience. So every week I write my newsletter called Building Resilience, and when I do my newsletter, I can talk a topic related to resilience and building resilience and leadership. And I publish this newsletter in LinkedIn, and the people read it. And every Monday morning, like today, I do my radio talk show called Building Resilience. So I talk about the topic that was putting in the newsletter. So that's why I encourage people that subscribe to my newsletter. So, this is my assistant. He's driving me crazy. So you think in the situation that is going, and you decided to think how you can manage it. So now let's go. And sorry about the introduction. Has been interrupting me, and so let me try to explain about the 5 topics. So when you're having setbacks and you want to see how you can manage it as a comeback, there are gonna be 5 topics that I'm gonna talk today to you. How you can manage this. One of the most important thing is your mindset. How you manage your mindset. Where is your mindset now? When you're having problems in life, how you're dealing with them, how you're thinking. Are you thinking that that is the end of the road? Or are you thinking that maybe there's an opportunity? So the mindset is very important, having the proper mindset, because when you have the mindset, no matter what is your circumstance, no matter what you're going through in life, you will always keep pushing and bouncing back and moving forward. So that's the way you have to look things in life. You have to always think, if you went through a failure, stand up, bounce back, and move on. So that's why the role of the mindset is very important in any adversity, the way you decided to see things in life. How you identify the lessons hiding in the setbacks, because every setback is an opportunity to grow. For example, today I had a setback that the LinkedIn audio room didn't work. It didn't work. I cannot do nothing, because that is life. When you're going through a situation in life, that is life. You have to accept things. And when you decided to accept things, it comes the moment that, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay there, or are you going to move on? For example, today I had this Facebook Live and I had the LinkedIn audio room. I do always both at the same time. One of them didn't open. What I decided to move on, doing this. I'm here today with you, talking with you, and this is going to be recorded, and then I'm going to leave recorded. Who want to hear me will hear the recording. I cannot do nothing with the technology that is going with LinkedIn. So this is the way you have to look things. When you're having the setback, try to learn the lesson. For example, in my case yesterday, I was having by the way, I attended a very interesting forum where the people were talking about how we're going to handle the LinkedIn audio room for next week. Because as I said, LinkedIn decided to cancel the audio room. They're not gonna be no more audio room the way we learned. So they were giving some ideas of how you can handle. One of the ideas was begin to do it through a platform called Restream. So yesterday I subscribed to Restream. I already have my Restream account. Next week I will begin to do it through Restream. So you have to learn, see that the lessons that are behind, and move on. So that's what you have to do in your life too. If you're having any situation in life today, think about it. You can be going to any situation in life today. Think about what you're having today. What are the lessons behind that? Because maybe you're going through a situation because you did something wrong, or there was a circumstance that made it happen, or it's because that is life. If something is going in your health, that is life. So what will be the lessons that you will learn from that? If you failing a business, what did you did wrong? Or what did others do wrong and you didn't see it coming? So try to, and this is not to blame nobody. This is only to understand how to do the things better next time. But don't stick there. Learn from those lessons and move on. This is the way you have to look this. Embrace your vulnerability. Because one of the most important things is that you accept and say, hey, I failed. Something went wrong. I failed in my marriage because I was a big ass, or I didn't understand my couple, or I didn't understand the market, so now I failed in my business, or I did the wrong investment decisions. So you can think about what was the circumstance, be vulnerable, accept it, because when the people know that you accept that you failed, the people can understand you better. And next time when you decided to move on, that vulnerability will help you to stand stronger, because the vulnerability at the end is a strength. People in the past thought that it was a weakness, but really is a strength. When you see it properly, it's a strength. Another thing that is important is building systems of support. Build your system of support. Never do things alone. You have to build system of support. What that means, that if you're going through any situation in life, seek for help. Look for people that maybe has more wisdom than you. Try to understand what is going on with the help of others. Have a system of support. Never do things alone, because one of the most terrible things that happen is that when the people are going through any adversity, the people do things alone. Do things alone. So it is terrible when you have that sense that you don't have nobody with you, that you're alone. So look for the system of support. This is very important during any tough time. Don't be alone, surrounded by the people that love you. And if you don't have nobody because you're alone, you're a lonely guy, well, there are networking groups. There are church group. Go to your church. I'm going to say something here, very honest. My wife and me, we have today our empty nest. Our kids grown up. They have their own life. We are alone with our two puppies. And we found, and I found a lot of support in my church. Today we belong to a group called the Golden Heart in my church. It's people that are over 60 years. And we found a wonderful community. Wonderful. We have very good friends there. And we meet every month in the formal meeting of the church that is called the Golden Heart. But we also do something that in Spanish we call the convivio. It's like a gathering together. Everybody brings food, and we do it in the house of each other. Randomly, we select a house, and everybody goes, 50, 60 people, and we bring food, we sing, we have a lot of circular support. We created a WhatsApp group because there are people that are over 60 years. There are people that maybe have 70, 80, even 90 years. People had some health issues sometimes. So if somebody having some health issue, the people go and support them. We go even to the clinic if somebody is in the hospital. So we created that system of support, and it's wonderful. Wonderful. You find family that you don't have. So that's the beauty when you create a system of support. Networking group like this one, like the one that I have. I have a community in LinkedIn. Unfortunately, today I had almost 200 people waiting to the room and didn't open. Well, I'm gonna record something to say apologies for them, because I have a community in LinkedIn that is wonderful because they always are interacting with me. So even if this is a virtual platform, you create system of support. Today I have friends that we have been becoming friends using platform like Facebook or LinkedIn, and you create real friendship. Not only friendship, even it becomes sometimes in business lines. Because now you can be doing those networking, become speaking events or summits, or you're doing master classes, or you begin to do a one-on-one coaching session. Today I'm connected to a friend that he's in Germany, and the other one is in Costa Rica, and we're doing things together. I have people that maybe is in Washington, and the other is in North Carolina, and I'm here in Houston, and we're doing things together. So I have a very good friend that we meet from time to time here physically in Houston. So you create this type of system of support, and when you're going through any tough time, this is the way you will make things. And the other thing is establish your strategies, knowing where were the reasons, the root cause of your setbacks, and create those past failures in strategies for your future opportunities. This is very important. When you understand the root cause of what happened, why, for example, why a business failed. You had this startup that you put your effort there, but maybe you did something wrong in the startup. Maybe you didn't choose the proper market. Maybe you targeted the wrong niche. Maybe you didn't understand the market. Maybe you did a wrong investment decision. Can be many things. But when you go to the root cause of the failure of the business, you can use it as a strategy for future opportunities. I'm gonna put here a clear example, because I always use. I'm very open with my case. The people that know me, I went through a terrible situation, becoming a hostage. I stayed hostage during 5 years, from 2017 to 2022. So I had 2 years that I came back from my hostage situation, and I decided to become a leadership and resilience coach, and I'm having this audio room because of that, because I decided to begin to share my experience. Well, before my situation of hostage happened, and the people that know me, I have tell this story several times, but I'm going to repeat it here for those that doesn't know it. I was getting retired in 2017. That was during November 2017, during the Thanksgiving, very like this time frame. I was planning to get retired, and I was doing my retirement planning, because I was a plan guy. So one of the strategy was I told my wife to open a small business. We said, okay, I'm going to be retired. I'm going to have my retired funds, but you open a small business, and the combined funds will support our life in our retirement. So we began to see what type of business we wanted to have. And we took that final decision that we opened a franchise. We opened a franchise. I'm not going to name it here, but we opened that franchise. And the decision to open that franchise, that I decided to go there, is because that franchise was the first time having that franchise here in Texas. So I was thinking, oh, that's a great opportunity, because I'm going to have this franchise, and now I'm going to have the master franchise, and they can become to open more and more franchise here, and I'm going to be the master franchiser. So that was my idea. Sometimes you have those ideas, but things happen in life. In my case, I went to this business trip, and it became to be an ambush, and we were kept hostage. I never expected that coming. What happened in the reality is that my wife had to move on with that franchise, and that franchise had something that had a bad thing and a good thing. The good thing is that she could keep the franchise running during 5 years, and it helped me during my 5 years being hostage. It supported me and supported her, because not only supported her economically, supported her mentally, because she had to be going every morning to open the store, and she didn't have time to be thinking what was going on with me. So God used that franchise to help us physically, emotionally, and psychologically. But that franchise had a cycle, because what happened with that franchise when we opened in the mall, that we decided Remember that when you have any business, the traffic is the most important thing. And that was a new mall. And because it was my decision, I saw that mall with a lot of potential for that franchise, because this franchise had like kind of high skill niche, and that mall was a high skill mall. What happened in the reality, because nobody has the crystal ball, the mall didn't have the truck, never had the traffic. The traffic was not there. It was good, but not to keep that business running for more longer time. When I came back, I found my wife having a lot of trouble with a franchise, having financial issues. Long story short, we decided to close the franchise. Lesson learned. It helped me during my hostage situation, but you have to see the reality. And the reality was that the number was not helping. And I told her, I am a guy from a business background and a finance background. And I saw the numbers. I said, you're losing money here. If you keep this franchise open, you're going to begin to withdraw cash. So the cash that you have is going to be gone. So this is the moment to cut. And we decided to cut, and we closed the franchise. What happened? That is a lesson learned. Now she decided she's doing this online. So there's no franchise. We're doing it online. She's having her business running in another way. I decided to open my own line of business. I decided to coach. Today I'm a coach. I decided to speak. I'm a speaker. I go to events and they hire me to speak. And next year I'm going to begin to speak in universities and colleges, etc. So we pivoted our situation. So that's when you decided to turn your past failures in your future opportunities. So what will happen in the future? I decided not to open again a franchise, because here in the U.S., opening a franchise is really a headache. And my wife was alone when she ran the franchise. A lot of paperwork, a lot of permits, a lot of things. So my takeaway is I will not open that type of business again. But if I decided to do it, I will learn from the lessons of the failure. So that is what you have to do. So let me recap here. You have to have the proper mindset, first thing. The mindset to understand what is your situation. Be focused on the situation and understand your reality. Understand what you really are going through. And when you understand, you take the decision to move on. For example, in my case, my reality was that the business was not going good, and we decided to close it. Do I see it like a failure? Not at all. For me, it was a cycle in my life. That was a cycle that helped my wife keep moving. It helped her generate cash so she could support me during my captivity, because she needed to send me things to Venezuela. It kept helping her pay the bills. And I came back, and the franchise was open, and was I who decided to close it, being here back. So having the proper mindset, you can decide properly what you want to do with your life or your business. Identify those lessons that always are hidden in those setbacks. When you identify, oh, okay, this happened because this is the reason. Sometimes you will find that you needed to go to this failure to be where you are today. I always put the example of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs always in a famous speech that he did in Stanford, from graduation in Stanford. He told the story. He humbly told his story when he was fired by Apple. He created the company. He was the visionary behind the company, and being the CEO of the company, the board, there was a new CEO, and the board decided to fire him. And he told that he went to a big depression. He stayed like 6 months under depression. And one day he said, hey, Steve, you had to move on. And he created a new company that was Next, N-E-X-T, Next. And Next became successful. And at the end, Apple bought Next. What happened? That he came back to Apple. And from now on, he was the CEO until he passed. Unfortunately, he passed. But he did his legacy. He left his legacy. And he always said that he understood that he needed to get fired to, when he came back to Apple, make Apple be what the company that at the end became. So sometimes you need to have those failures. So see those failures as opportunity. And you will find in the life a lot of examples, the people that failed, and when they came back, bouncing, at the end they become successful. And you will see a lot of cases also in the Bible. People that went through a lot of setbacks, but when they keep their faith running, they came back, bounced back, and at the end they were successful. Embrace your vulnerability. This is important. Be honest. Say that you failed. Say, sorry, I failed. I apologize that I failed. And that's it. And the importance of building that circle of support, you know, when the people say to you, hey, I'm here to help. Hey, don't do this alone. Hey, what help do you need? So in those tough times, have that circle of support. And finally, those past failures, look at, be part of your strategy to become your future opportunities. So when you do all these 5 things, you at the end will become successful. So now comes the question. So how I apply this? How I make this really happen? Well, there are several ways to do this, but one of the first things that you have to do is try to meditate in this season, in the year end. Meditate all the things that happen in your life. Always try to have writing your goals. I have it. I have my goals writing. Let me tell you, all the goals that I write this year, I achieved 100% of them. So I feel happy that I achieved 100% of my goals. So try to write down in this. This is a good opportunity to have your goals, write your goals, be reasonable. Because remember, the goals have to be reasonable, have to be measurable, had to be achievable, had to be that you really have an impact. But be reasonable in the way that don't over-respect yourself. So when you have those goals that you can measure, they are reasonable, they are meaningful, and you move on, now you can see what happened this year with your goals. If some of them you didn't achieve, reflect and try to understand what happened. Because there you will find the lessons learned, okay? Practice the gratitude. Small wins, say thanks God. Every small wins, when you begin to have small wins, step by step, baby step, expressing gratitude, that will amplify your achievements. Because now it will give you more confidence. You will be more confident that you can be achieving things in life. Set resilient goals. Use the resilience to adapt. When you're having any situation, remember, bounce back. So you have to establish a strategy how you can bounce back. And have flexible goals. If for some reason some goal is not achievable, change it. Sometimes you, for example, you put your goal that you were gonna reach a market, and for some reason the market is not there. Something happened. Something happened. Well, go to another market. Don't stay stuck in that market, because sometimes people get stuck in a goal, and then comes the failures. Adapt to the new situation. Have adaptable goals. Have feedback. This is important. When you get surrounded with a circle of support, people that really cares and are honest with you, they will give you honest feedback. They will say, hey, my friend, what you're doing is not right. It's wrong. And maybe you will not like it, but maybe it's an honest opinion. So when you have the opportunity to have those feedback, you will understand, oh, okay, here's the mistake I made. Oh, I had to change this. Oh, this happened because of this. Oh, and now I understand the situation. So feedback is important, because feedback will give you the opportunity to understand what really happened if you failed. So have those feedback. And celebrate the progress. Not only express gratitude in the small wins, celebrate them. If you have a win, even if it's not a big win, celebrate it. And celebrate the wins of your employees too. When you're having a business and your employee doing something great, hey, go there and say, hey, my friend, thank you. And maybe give a recognition, send an email, invite it to a lunch, give them a prize, whatever you decide to do. But the important is that you are celebrating those wins with them, so they will really understand what is going on. And if you do all these 5 things, that you, in the end of year, reflect what happened and try to understand what was the situation that you went through. You express gratitude. No matter what, express gratitude. Have those resilient goals, have flexible goals. Have feedback of what is the situation, and celebrating your progress. If you do all these 5 things, even if you're going to a setback, you will make it become a comeback. So that's my final conclusion here to you, that when you are going to things in life, the important is not what happened. The important is the lessons that you learn. And that no matter what is going in your life today, that circumstance is not going to mark you. It's going to be the fuel to continue going, because you're going to have something called determination. When you have determination, that will be the fuel to keep you moving. Because maybe you have the resilience, but you need to have the determination. Because when you have the determination, is that will be the fuel that will infuse you that force to keep going and keep moving. And believe me, that is unstoppable. When you decided to do this, at the end you will be successful, because that is human nature. Failing, bouncing back, going on. Failing, bouncing back, going on. At the end, be successful. So this is my final conclusion for you today. So I'm gonna I always talk about a case study, and I'm gonna talk about the case of Howard Schultz. People will say, who was Howard Schultz? Well, Howard Schultz in 1980, he had a vision that he wanted to open a small shop, a small coffee shop. He was in the Seattle area in the Washington State, and Washington State always is cold and is rainy, and he was thinking to have this small coffee shop there, that the people can gather and be a place where the people can chill out and stay there, and he began to sell this business to the banks. He was rejected by almost more than one bank, 100 banks. All the banks were saying no, 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 no. Nobody understood his business. At the end, he kept going, he kept going, he kept going. And at the end, one bank said yes. When that bank said yes, he opened the business. That business is called Starbucks. It's today Starbucks. More than 1,000 stores all over the world. A multi-billion business. That was an idea that Howard Schultz had, and he never stopped with his idea. So this is a case study today, because never abandon your dreams. If you have a dream, pursue for them. Pursue. Do it until the end, but never stop. This is a great example. Howard Schultz, the bank were shutting doors, saying, slamming the doors. No, that's not going to work. How many times do you hear the business is not going to be successful? Are you crazy doing that? Why are you going to do that? No, you will never be successful. No, that business will fail. Always you're hearing people saying things. Hear your inner voice. Hear what you really had to hear. You have a vision. You have your vision. You have your purpose. When you find your vision and you find your purpose, pursue it. You will see tons and tons cases in the history and in the Bible. The people that had a vision and had a dream and they pursued, and at the end they were successful. So my reflection to you is, be like Howard Schultz. More than 100 banks say no. One day one bank said yes, and he could open the store, and it began to be Starbucks. And talking about authorities on the topic, because I always there is another case. There is another case that I want to mention here. That J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling was a normal lady, a British lady, that she had a story that she was thinking in, a fantasy story, that all the editors were saying no. They told her tons of time no, that the story was ridiculous, that she was having a struggle, she had a very bad financial situation. But one day somebody said, okay, let's publish the story. That became Harry Potter. Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. What happened? That J.K. Rowling never accepted the no. Never accept a no. If somebody said no, continue going. So we have here two great examples. Howard Schultz in Starbucks, J.K. Rowling in Harry Potter. Two examples, the people that never lost their dream. And authorities of this topic, there is one that I always mention, and I'm very honored because she's from Houston. That is Brené Brown. Brené Brown has always talking about, she's the queen of the vulnerability, but she talks about this, about bouncing back. But there is another author that is Angela Duckworth. Angela Duckworth, she's the author of the book called Grit, The Power of the Passion and the Perseverance. So she talks about how the people can see the things in a long term. When they had roadblocks, they had tough times, how the people pursue and are resilient and continue going on, and at the end become successful. And she always is reminding that the setbacks are the natural process of any situation in life. She always is saying that enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare. Enthusiasm is common. Everybody can be enthusiastic, but the endurance is rare. Not everybody has the endurance. So my question to you is, in what side you are? in the enthusiastic or in the endurance. So think here about this. If you're going to any situation in your life, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stay there? Are you gonna begin to blame somebody? Are you gonna begin to say, poor of me? Or are you gonna decide to say, okay, this is my circumstance, this is what's happened to me, but I'm gonna decide to move on. I'm gonna talk about my particular case. When I went through my hostage situation, at the beginning, I didn't understand why that happened to me. I was a guy getting retired, did a successful career. I didn't have no complaints. And here I became a hostage because it became part of my circumstance. I was in the wrong place, in the wrong moment, in the wrong time. And it happened. When I understood in the situation that was a terrible situation because it was a geopolitical situation. I said, okay, Jose, this is your reality. This is your life. You will not know how long this will last, because can you imagine being accused to be an American spy in a communist regime? That could last forever. I was thinking that I could stay there for the rest of my life. But at some point I said, no, Jose, you have to think that you're going to go back. This is going to be resolving any moment, because the U.S. government is going to fight for you, and I understood that they were doing it. So I said, I'm going to leave that in the hands of God and in the hands of my family and in the hands of the government. So I'm going to begin to take care of me. So I began to take care of my mental and my physical health, and I began to pray, I began to read the Bible, I began to exercise, I began to read, I began to write. I decided to write my memoir of what happened to me, and that memoir became to be my book. My book, From Hero to Villain, is a compound of my story. So in these pages, I poured the letters that I wrote with my wife during more than 3 years about what the situation I went through. So I encourage the people that if you want to read about my story, how I could make things in life, how I'm here today, here's my book. My book, you can go to my webpage, that is joseconnect.com, or you can go to my Amazon page, and you find it there, From Hero to Villain. From Hero to Villain, my true story of the Circo Six, because we were 6 guys and we became, the press put that name, the Circo Six. So, no matter what circumstance you're having, you have to think is where you want to be, not where you are today. Because God, when He saw you and He wrote the book of your life, He always knows where you're going to be. It's you that you don't know it. So you have to embrace and move on. So that as a conclusion, we're coming to the end of the year. This journey maybe has not been perfect to everybody. In my case, I really am very proud and really grateful what God did with me, because I could achieve 100% the goals and more, because this is something extra. When you connect with the grace of God, when you walk with the grace of God, you can give the seed, because you always will have to give the seed. That is the part of the heart. Give. Like I'm giving today with you. I'm here giving. I'm giving this for free. Nobody's paying me to do this. I'm trying to share with you based on my knowledge. And that is part of the way I decided to give, share my knowledge. So I'm today giving to you. And this is a seed I'm putting there. That seed will never abandon my hand. It will come back to me, and God will multiply it. So that's what God has been doing with me. So I recommend to anybody that's hearing this today, this is a biblical principle. Give, the art of giving. Give to others without no waiting to have nothing back. It will come along, and it will come multiplied. So that's the principle of the abundance. When you do this, your life will become abundance, and not only will become abundance, will become joyful. I was talking the other day with a friend, and I was telling him, you know what? Today I feel joyful what I'm doing because I feel that I can helping others. I have my line of business, of course. The people that want to hire me, I do coaching, one-on-one coaching. Basically, I'm coaching entrepreneurs and business owners when they're having issues in how they can have a balance between their business and their life. I try to, align them. I give them tools that they can get aligned. So if somebody's hearing me today having that situation, you can contact me. You can contact me because sometimes you are, unfortunately, victim of your mindset. Sometimes you have your own mental prisons. Maybe you're hostage of your beliefs or the thing that surrounded you. Sometimes you can be a guy that having a successful business, but you have your life totally messed up. That was what happened to me in the past. So I discovered that it's important to have that balance. Balance with your family, balance with God, balance with your business, balance with your friends. So you have to have a balance. Always have to be a balance. So when you do this and you have the balance, you begin to be more joyful. You do the things, you don't do the things like a work. You do it like because you like it. I enjoy what I'm doing today. When I have been hired to go to speak with in college, for me, it's joyful. I'm very excited that next year I'm going to be doing a tour with some college because talking to the kids for me is great. Putting this message there. So in this year end, reflect. Where was the situation? Don't look at bad. Try to see the thing that you didn't achieve. Try to go to the root cause what happened. And try to, maybe you overstated your goals. Or maybe you're not targeted properly your goal, so you can make a tweak. Be flexible. If you have to change your goal, do it. Do it. Be flexible. And go back and learn and grow and be prepared for a brighter future. Remember, God always wants that everybody be prosper. By nature, the human being has to be prosper, had to be abundant. Not all achieve that. But the ones that connect with God, the one that walk in the grace of God and understand that if you have a purpose and you have a vision, you will pursue, no matter what is your circumstance, you're going to go there. My friend, you're going to be successful. You're going to be successful. Every setback is a chance to learn, to grow, and to prepare for a brighter future. And having those setbacks, you can unleash your unbreakable spirit. I always talk about this. Everybody has this inner force. All of us has that inner force. We have that unbreakable spirit inside us, but you have to unleash it. So my question to you is, are you ready to unleash it, or are you going to stay where you are? So think, this is coming to the year end. In a couple of weeks, it's going to finish the year. If something went wrong in this year to you, are you going to stay there crying because you failed? Or are you going to be preparing for a brighter future next year? Are you going to do things different? Or are you going to continue doing the thing the same way you're doing it today? So when you're thinking all what I'm talking today, you will see the things different. Have the proper mindset. Learn from the setbacks. Don't do this never alone. Be focused and walk in the grace of God. When you do this, all of things, will happen. Pursue your dreams. Seek your purpose. Have a vision. Don't look at where you are today. Don't make that circumstance mark you. See you in the future. Work and walk like if you are already there. Remember, everything you see, everything you say, everything you project is going to be your future. What is the future you want for you? So, said this, I'm coming to the end of this show. Again, I'm going to leave this recording. I'm going to put the recording in LinkedIn. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it in LinkedIn today. Next week, I'm going to try to adapt to the new technology because the LinkedIn audio room are going to be finished. I'm going to begin to work using Restream. Restream is a platform that is similar to Zoom, maybe like StreamYard, more like a StreamYard. I was yesterday reviewing it. I'm going to try to this week to see how I can put it. So I'm going to continue transmitting here, this Facebook live here in HOD Radio Network, but I'm going to be going at the same time in my Facebook page, my personal page, Jose Angel Pereira page. I'm going to be in my LinkedIn page, and I'm going to be in YouTube. So I'm going to be in these 3 channels plus this channel. So this setback is going to come that now I'm going to be more multimedia. And I believe that I had to talk with the administrator of HOD Radio Network, with Daniel. Daniel, if you're hearing me, because he offered me to go through TikTok and Instagram too. So maybe I'm going to be using Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, 2 Facebooks, and 1 LinkedIn, and maybe Twitter. So if I do it, I'm going to be using all the multimedias. That's a good example of how a setback can become a comeback. Because having the setback that LinkedIn is canceling the other room, maybe it's going to make them going to have now a better and wider platform. By the way, I want to celebrate here that yesterday I achieved my 4,000 followers in my YouTube channel. And I'm heading to the 1,100,000 people in LinkedIn, and here in Facebook are heading to that 6,000. So I'm combining in all my platforms today. I'm having more than 30,000 people. And I begin to do this barely 1 year and some couple of months ago. But I have been consistent sharing, because the important here is to be consistent sharing with the other. So said this, I'm coming to the end. Thank you to the people that could hear me. Remember, I have my book, From Hero to Villain. So From Hero to Villain is my book based on the story that my 5 years of hosted the story. I talk here about the legacy. All these things that today I'm talking to you are here in this book. And you will see how I went through terrible situations, but I decided to come back. Thank you for hearing me. So said this, we're coming to the end. And at the count of 5, we're going to go to the end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for hearing me, and I'm going to leave the recording. Bye.